fashion and music trendsetter. He's the Silver Surfer. He's Wavy Crockett. Please welcome New York City's own Max B.
What up, world? It's the neighborhood hero, J Loco Pay, aka the Prince of Diamonds. And today we're gonna do something a little different. Now, with the recent news of the waviest, Wavy Crockett, coming out, Max B possibly coming home next year, I decided we was gonna talk about a little bit about his case and about everything he's been through, he's been going through. Now, Max has a release date of 2025. Well, has the earliest release date of 2025, which means he could get out later, or he could get out at that time with good behavior. Now, to do a little backstory, in 2009, Max was sentenced to 75 years in New Jersey prison for conspiracy to commit armed robbery and murder. Fast forward to 2016, and due to a technicality in the case, all of his convictions were vacated, and he took a plea deal in which he was resentenced to 20 years. Now, all of this was due to a botched robbery that happened in 2006, where a man from Florida ended up dead. Now we're gonna get into all of that. Now, 2009, 20 years from 2009, that puts it at about 2029. But as you all know, we're good. You know, in Jersey, you gotta do 85% of your time, and with good behavior, things can happen. So as of right now, his earliest release date is November of 2025, but that doesn't mean he'll get out then. I just wanted to take a deep dive into the trial of one of the most legendary underground hip-hop artists of all time, Max B. Over the course of this story, I should warn you, what you're gonna hear is a tale of lust, backdooring, and the pursuit of the American dream.
These bitches best believe in me when I tell them, baby, let me take you out this ghetto that you living in. Take bigger belly bodies, Benjamin, send them.
Look, Max B. Now, I'm a resident of Jersey, and I know that you had a little arrest that went down on like Route 4 or something like that.
Not familiar with the area.
Okay. Explain the night. Huh?
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there, but you did get arrested. Explain what happened that night.
I can't.
Max was born Charlie Wingate in Harlem, New York City in 1978. He was raised in the Abraham Lincoln housing projects in East Harlem, but his family would later migrate to the same building as another hip-hop star from Harlem, who was actually a hoop standout at the time, Mr. Cameron Giles. Now, unlike Killer Cam, though, Max wasn't talented in sports. His talent would be in his voice. Growing up, Max, or Charlie's, father worked odd jobs, while his mom, Sharon Wingate, never worked at all. Instead, spent most of her days doing drugs.
My father did the odd jobs, mama never worked, used to drug a lot, now feel good when she lean, never knew the meaning of fiend.
Now Max B, and Jim's right, he's the one who put Max B on. Max B is from my building. Him and Mike Bruno from my block. And Max B, he wasn't Max B, his name was Charlie Rambo. And Charlie was ill, man. Charlie was one of these niggas that would piss in a bottle and bums would be sleeping, he'd pour the piss on them and laugh and shit like that. Like, he was a funny nigga. Charlie Rambo was a funny nigga.
Mama Wingate even spent 1.5 years in jail due to her substance abuse. And for this reason, a young Max was mostly raised by his grandma. And at an early age, she had Max singing in the Harlem Boys Choir. Now, I know it might seem funny to you all, imagining the Wave singing in the boys choir, but what you gotta understand is that this is what most likely helped shape the young Max and develop his signature sound, unique voice, and lingo.
Watch her do the Yola right in front of me. Used to bring the tools that she needed. The plate drop, I would get a beat. And
when Max was 13, tragedy would strike his family. While his older brother Eric was out of town in Baltimore trying to move some weight, some hitters had apparently caught up to him and whacked him. And as you can imagine, this rocked young Charlie, as he would never be the same. Eric was the one who introduced Max to hip-hop in the first place. Eric would leave Max collections of cassettes while he went in and out of town. And now Charlie would never see his big brother again. In 1997, despite Grandma doing everything she could to keep Charlie out of trouble, he began serving a prison term for robbery. He was only 18 at the time. Fast forward to January 2005. Fresh off an 8-year bid, Max had a lot of time to think and a lot of ambitions to let out. He was hungry to make waves in the hip-hop scene, no doubt. After all, his childhood friend Cameron had just allegedly taken over the rock. There was only one problem though. Cameron ain't see Max's full potential, and so he underestimated Max.
So he was always getting in trouble though, in and out of jail, doing his thing, and you know, that's just the environment we lived in. So he get out of jail, he come up to me, this is word for word. So I'm like, Charlie, what up when you got? He said, yo, Flea, I just came home. I said, you just, oh, y'all said, you always just coming home.
Baby. Okay, we're back.
He said, you always just coming home. So I said, he said, yo, Flea, you know I rap now, let's get this shit clicking like Dorothy's heels. I said, yo, I laughed like that because I couldn't take him seriously. Because this is my man, he from my building. I'm like, you rap now, Max? I mean, Charlie? He like, yeah, my name is Bigger Valley. I said, Bigger Valley? He said, I'm Biggie and Tupac mixed in one. But I'm laughing again because, like I said, I know this dude from my building. And, you know, I couldn't really take Max serious because I didn't see the potential because, you know, I'm not God. I don't always catch every artist and be like, oh, how you miss this nigga? I just didn't see it because I fuck with him. And I didn't hear him rap at that time. I never heard him rap. So I guess Jim, some type of way, got with Max. I don't know how Mike Bruno got with Jim and they got together. So Jim called me like, yo, I'ma fuck with Max B. And I was like, yo, guy, do your thing. I didn't know it would be this type of situation. I'm just being totally honest. I didn't know.
And as the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Because Jim immediately signed him to his Bird Gang record label after their mutual friend Bruno introduced them to one another.
That's my nigga. He put me in the game. Him and Bruno put me in the game. So I'm obligated to these niggas to shit get where it need to be. Niggas gonna put me where I need to be, then boom, then it's gonna be a goal. Jim started kid.
Baby girl, you tryna be down with the dip shit? Yeah. Well then you gotta get your lips wet. Yo, cheese up, nigga. Hose down. If the bitch can't swim, she gon' drown. I gotta see how that thing sound, but I got it. I'ma come right in with a dip shit. I should've knew you was trouble right from the start. You stood in my corner when the bitch broke my heart. You came through, kept a brother up. I maintain, try to shut a nigga up. Fuck it, I wouldn't.
In 2005, Gina Marie Conway, a native of Baltimore, was living in North Carolina with her common-law husband of nearly 10 years. Gina was 28 and a die-hard Dipset fan, so when she heard that they were going to be performing at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, she jumped at the chance to go. Gina was able to get backstage passes, but was upset to learn that the show was really headlined by Jim Jones and his Bird Gang crew, so she wouldn't get a chance to meet rappers Cameron and Joel Santana. Nevertheless, Gina went to the show, and when she met Max B backstage, she initially claimed that she only talked to him to smoke his weed. Little did either party know that these blunts would be the beginning of one hell of a roller coaster.
Pimpin' was my way of life, slipping and I paid the price. Left my bitch alone, let her roam. She's 1,000 miles away from home, sitting with this.
Only a month or so later, Max had convinced his new flame to leave her life in North Carolina and move in with him in the Bronx. While Max was working on getting his rap career off the ground, Gina danced at a gentleman's club in the Bronx named Sin City. As you probably can imagine, Max and Gina would have a lot of problems due to their chosen professions, and so the pair would break up and make up often. At one point, Max even sent Gina back home to live in Baltimore, but after a couple of months, he ended up asking her to come back. Although this time there was one condition. He had a new girl, China, and for a time, they shared Max, and they all stayed in an apartment together. Everybody was happy, until Max got China pregnant. At this point, Max and China no longer wanted Gina to stay with them. She was forced out the apartment. But instead of going back home to Baltimore, Gina moved in with one of Max's brothers, Michael Murder Mike Wingate, along with his girlfriend and uncle. Now, despite not living together, Max and Gina were still heavily prevalent in each other's lives. Gina still seen Max on a daily basis and still called Max her boyfriend. I'll tell you one thing, this Gina must have been some piece of work, because she had a way of meeting a man and totally changing the trajectory of where his life was heading. But then again, she mostly dealt with fast life hooligans.
Man, I'm a real nigga, man. This is 33rd. I'm the real nigga. I spit the real shit, man.
He got the hair out today, you know what I'm saying? No,
She loves me not. Hold on.
All right.
That's my new shit right here. Let me show you my new shit. Check it right, look. My new shit. She loves me not. She loves me not. She loves me not.
But then again, she mostly dealt with fast life hooligans. Speaking of which, in the fall of '06, two Florida scammers, Alan J. Plowden and David Ramel Taylor, were making their rounds in New York City, riding around in luxury vehicles, flashing large sums of cash. The money was allegedly made from fraudulent mortgages and real estate transactions, which began in that April of 2006, when Plowden finessed $300K from a mortgage company. In August of '06, Jay struck rich, finessing $1.4 million in another mortgage scheme. One thing is for sure and two things is for certain. The pair was eventually going to be cracked one way or another, because around this time, they began unknowingly dealing with the undercover FBI agent when searching for someone to launder their money. Also around this time, when they first got to New York, Plowden and Taylor were frequenting a motor vehicle accessory business in the Bronx, where they met Julio Cruz and Edward Blancano, two New Jersey residents who are referred in the U.S. Attorney's documents as, quote, the car thieves.
Wait.
Tell him I want the cover. Tell Dub Magazine I want the cover for me and Joel's. Because Joel's got all white cars and I got all black cars. Smell me? I should be about good 20-some awesome cars on the cover. We just take a whole garage of stone. I want to put shit in the elevator. You know the elevator garage shit? The stunt tell you we taking up 5 rows of that, nigga. All those hours right there, like the drawer and all that. Like, pull that out.
For those who don't know, this the New York City stunt king. This man, I ain't gonna say nothing. This man right here is the stop. Folks, man.
This nigga's crazy right here, man.
Yeah, I'm going uptown.
Hold me money too. Take my son to Toys R Us. Yeah.
While Plowden is getting his Mercedes-Benz tricked out at the rim shop, the two Dominican thieves introduced the two Florida scammers to two would-be Latina hookers, Mate Castro and Giselle Neves. Now, it's unclear if the two women were actually hoes or just playing the part, but regardless, the plan was in motion to line Taylor and Plowden up for their money. Now, Jay Plowden, he got the feds on him, he got Cruz and Blancano on him, but he's really about to outdo himself with his next move. On September 20th, 2006, while waiting to be picked up by Max, Gina Conway was standing on the corner of 126th and Lexington. Plowden was also on that corner, sitting in his white 2007 Mercedes-Benz S55. Conway would later recall in court that she felt like something shady was going on in the car. Other unknown males were in the car with him, and she thought that some sort of black market transaction was going down. But Jay saw something he liked in Gina and approached her. By this point, Max had told Gina he couldn't pick her up, and in her own words, she had, quote, nothing better to do. Gina got in Jay's car. Their first stop that night was a bar. After a few drinks, Mr. Plowden made a beeline for a motel in Mahwah, New Jersey. By this point, Gina was starting to notice the stacks of cash her new friend had. Gina returned to the city around 4 a.m. that morning. She shared some of the cash with Max, a common practice as she claimed he was broke and always took money from her. Then headed to Sin City, where she waited for a new romantic partner, and Sin City bouncer Teron Golston, to get off work. The couple spent time at an uptown motel before going their separate ways. Now, if you ask me, the situation between Max and Gina obviously sounds like a relationship between a pimp and a hoe. But that's just me if you ask me.